to kiss. Remember that episode?
Yeah, I was about to do it.
Good.
No.
Someone to miss when you're away. To be loved.
Okay. Nobody wants to hear the soundtrack of what soundtrack is it? Stop squinting, dear.
Hey.
It says you're live. We're building an audience for you.
Okay. That was from the funniest movie ever.
What?
Coming to America.
Oh yeah. It was. I forgot.
We got one.
Dear, stop being so excited about one viewer. Although we are very happy that you are here. Super happy.
What time is it?
Here we go again, guys. It is 2:59.
What?
Okay. So.
We got one.
So while we wait, thank you guys for coming. We're excited.
Yeah.
So even if people aren't
Did you have fun last week?
I did.
I think you're a great.
You asked me a question, dear. Let me answer. I had a fantastic time.
I think you're a great co-host.
Why can't you be the co-host?
Okay, I'm a great co-host. So lame.
It's just like a man. Hey, Pastor Joe and Lady Lynette. Hey, Lisa. That's Lisa. Lisa.
How you doing?
Oh. Hey, Special. I saw you just joined. So, last week.
Go ahead.
So, we were just talking about how much fun we had. We were just talking about how much fun we had last week.
Did y'all have a good day today?
Yeah, let us know. Type us. We had a great day. We had a great day at church.
Church was good.
Church was awesome.
What was the sermon about?
Rahab went to rehab. Joshua 2.
Ooh, you remember the scripture.
I sure do. It was good. It was good. It was real good.
Rahab was a harlot.
And if God can use a harlot,
surely he can use you.
Oh, yeah. All right, it's 3 o'clock on the dot.
Okay.
All right, so it's my turn. So, again, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to Mr. and Mrs. JLW. You are with us for 30 minutes, and every Sunday we look forward to hearing from you and discussing some just possibly controversial or some really good topics that we can really get into. So our email address,
excuse me,
phone call. So our email address is Mr. and Mrs. JLW411@gmail.com. So we look forward to hearing your questions, your comments, your feedback. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, I mean, this show is for you guys. I mean, we're actually, well, clearly I'm by myself now, but we are facilitating this conversation, but you all really are the hosts. I mean, you all tell us what you want to hear. So Mr. and Mrs. JLW411@gmail.com, and make sure that you like or follow our page on Facebook, Mr. and Mrs. JLW, and you can actually send us a email link directly from the page. So Tanisha, hey y'all, hey Dad, my daddy is here. Oh gosh, I guess I can't say what I want to say. Anyway, okay. So make sure as you guys are joining, or if you guys are sharing this on your pages, make sure that you share this on your page. Make sure that if you have people that are seriously dating, or people that may want to date, or just want to have questions about life and commitment and all the stuff that has to do with relationships, make sure that you send them our information. So our next thing that we're going to do every single week, and as soon as Joseph comes back, he's going to explain it, but this is what we are calling our ice box. So in here, we're going to write questions to each other that, here's the man. I just started introducing.
I'm back.
And loud.
We got 10.
loud. Explain the icebox, dear.
I got that icebox.
No.
Icebox is, the ice comes from icebreaker. So this is the icebox. We've written questions that she doesn't know.
Hey, mama.
Hey, mama, that I don't know. And we'll each pull one to break the ice.
We got hearts. So whoever did that liked the fact that we're doing an icebox.
Y'all like the icebox?
Yeah, let us know. Like.
Right? You like the icebox?
Stop.
All right, so you're gonna pick. You're gonna do.
Yeah, I'll go first.
They like the icebox.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Can men and women truly be just friends? And does it matter if your partner or spouse knew them before you started dating or got married?
Okay, so if I'm answering this, whatever I say, like, you're not gonna like go off on me or anything, right?
I can't promise that.
Come on, why ain't gonna be real?
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask it one more time. What is it?
Okay. Can men, and I want you guys to chime in too, if you guys have an opinion about it. Can men and women truly be just friends? Stop reading it. Does it matter if your partner or spouse knew them before you started dating or got married?
Can men and women truly be friends? Yes.
Okay.
I do believe that it's possible.
Okay.
However, I think it's very, very difficult for men and women to be friends if there is a physical attraction. I think it's difficult. Especially for men, because men are more driven off of what we see than as females. Not to say that women don't find what you guys see is important, but we're more shallow than women. I mean, that's just real talk. So I think it's possible for men and women to be friends, but I don't agree with having friends and you married.
Oh, wait.
I'm just taking it real. I'm your friend.
Wait, what?
I am your friend.
You are my friend, dear.
Right.
So
how I look talking about like, well, me and Keisha going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Okay.
I think it's just a preference thing. I don't think that it's necessarily like a, hold on, why are you disagreeing?
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I just want you to explain or to further clarify your point. Tonisha said yes, they can. Wanda says depends on the security of the person, of the people within themselves.
Well, I respectfully would say I don't think it's about security of the person. I think it's just about the relationship. Some people just get down differently.
Okay.
I know married people and they both have friends.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's a great
discussion. So did I answer that question?
You did answer that question.
So it's my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
What if your potential mate or spouse isn't liked by your family? Is that a deal breaker? Wow. You asked that question because I didn't.
Actually, that's a really good question. I want to hear what you guys say too. Can you read that one more time for clarity's sake?
Okay.
Is that the one?
What if your potential mate or spouse isn't liked by your family? Is that a deal breaker? So you got to answer it first.
Yeah. So here's my thought. I think it depends on a few things. I think it depends on where you see this relationship going. If this is a person that you're just kind of kicking it with and you're dating them, but you don't really see a future in it, then I'm sure you wouldn't care if your family really liked them. But then that begs another point or another topic or discussion. Why are you wasting your time with someone that you don't even see a future with? But we'll get into that. But if hypothetically this is a spouse or you're engaged or seriously dating and your family doesn't like them, for me it would be a deal breaker because I'm close with my family and I feel like they have my best interest at heart, and sometimes we can't see things that our family sees or people who love us, because family can be blood family and they can be friends that are like family, right? So I think if people truly love you, and that's the operative word, truly, I think if people truly love you and they want the best for you, and they, for whatever reason, see something in the partner that they either don't like, or something fishy about them, or a story about them.
Well, let me get my 2 cents in.
Okay, let's see. Did anybody else say anything? Oh, Tanisha said, yeah, it's hard.
I think that you can. I think that you can. I do think it's a deal breaker, but I don't think it's impossible. It's like going to a restaurant with no tables. You can eat in it, but it's not going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that helped me, or one of the most special things to me, is how my parents felt and feel about you.
Totally. Insane. My parents love you.
So it you know, it's just like it's like, you know, when your family likes who you're with, it's like a blessing almost, you know. Not especially my dad, you know, because he, you know, what dad thinks and his feelings is very important. Should be important to any son. So, yeah. And
I think,
what y'all think?
Yeah, I think too. Selena says, great comment, Lady L. Thank you. I love the encouragement. But I think too.
Be encouraged, no matter what's going on.
So last week he was hoarse. Now this week he's.
I feel good.
Clearly, Jane. It's so cute. But I think, like hypothetically, if your dad says, "Son, I just don't like Lynette," despite how you felt about me.
You know, it's hard to say, man. Like I really, that's difficult because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But if my dad didn't like you, that would just be very, very difficult it would have been difficult to get past.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, just real talk, because like I highly think, you know, I highly respect what he thinks. You know? That's
a very good point, because if your friends or your family, if your friends like family or your blood family, if you respect them and their opinion, that's a very key point, because they can tell you things and you be like, whatever, I'm not checking for you, and I don't necessarily vibe with you like that, and I know you may be looking out for me. And sometimes family can be a little bit overprotective.
But they know, though.
Who, family?
Family know. Like, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Your mama always know who ain't no good. My mama know.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Roberta.
I come home.
Gerard said my dad doesn't have any say in my relationship.
Because my mama would be like,
yeah.
That heifer fast.
Thank God. And then she just said that about me.
Yeah, she be like,
But see, I think too, you know, my dad actually said that 40 years ago we had a few people that were against us, you know, friends and stuff like that. They laughed. But I think too, you know, if my dad, obviously this did not happen, but if my dad, as much as I respect him and love him, I know that he wants to see me with a man that he respects.
Right.
And that was actually in our episode last week. And make sure, if you guys didn't check out our pilot episode, hopefully you guys will have a chance to look at it. But one of the things that brought us together was a singles ministry thing. And one of the questions was, ladies, what type of man do you want? And my answer was a man like my father.
Yep.
So
that did it. I was like,
who is that?
Who is that?
But I think in growing up and seeing my father as that guy that I wanted to have for me in my life, it just wouldn't. If he were to say something about him, I would be like,
to me? Mm-hmm. Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. Because
that's how it should be. Because like your dad is the person who establishes what you should be looking for in a man, like that, like in terms of, and there are a lot of people out there who weren't raised by their biological father. I'm not saying that, but the father figure is the person who instills in his daughter what a man is what a man represents and what you need to look for in him. And not that I'm looking for my daddy.
Right.
But I'm looking for somebody who stands for these principles and these things. So,
yeah,
sure.
Totally.
So,
okay, we got a couple comments.
Okay.
Lisa says, at the end of the day, you gave to choose. Oh, you have to choose who you want to be with. Absolutely. And then Selena says, yes, sir.
Yes,
your mama
sir.
always knows.
Your mama knows, Selena.
And Courtney says, I love you guys' relationship. Thanks. Oh,
Courtney.
hey, Ashley.
Courtney.
That's Ashley.
Oh, Ashley at the bottom.
She's under drops. I totally agree, Pastor Joe. I have a wonderful father
Yes,
figure.
you
You do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes,
great
you do.
guy. Mm-hmm. Y'all got come from a great family.
Yes. Hey, Jackson.
I watched you when you were a little baby. I watched you. She done came up now.
Okay, your turn.
All right. So let's get into the crux of the message. The title was...
I'm hot. I'm getting a fan. Hold on.
Yeah, I know. Get a fan.
Okay.
The crux, I can handle it. See, that's what I do every Sunday. I handle it, don't I?
Yes, you do, dear.
You got one of them funeral fans?
I got a fan from Josh today.
She having a flash.
So hot, guys. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So the crux of the message is why you should always date a potential mate.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to get y'all's input. And let me tell you where the title comes from. This title comes from my old man. My dad said, always date a potential mate. And being that I'm older now, it's like I didn't always listen to it when he said it because I didn't understand fully what he meant. But I totally get it now. I think when you date people, and when I say potential mate, that means somebody that could potentially be your Mr. or your Mrs.
Agreed.
So if a person is not in alignment with who your Mr. or your Mrs. should be, by dating them, you're wasting time.
Absolutely.
So let's first start off by talking about some of the things what goes along with being a potential mate, dear.
Okay, before I say that, I just want to give a shout out to my sister.
Shout out.
Shout out. Hey,
Which
Steph.
one?
Steph. I know I have four. I have four sisters, guys.
Which one?
Stephanie.
Well, shout out Stephanie.
Hey, Steph. So Sandra says, I love you guys' relationship. Thank you. So my sister Stephanie always told me from a little girl, she said that our grandfather told her, and she passed the information along to me, she said, you cannot help who you fall in love with, but you can help who you date.
Oh!
And I thought that was such like an aha moment for me because I thought that was such an aha moment for me because I'm like, that's so true. Because once you get involved with somebody and either you have children with them or you live together or you start loving them, it's really hard to break up. But if you...
Sorry.
He's like a child.
Keep going, dear. It's
Okay.
good stuff.
Yeah. You broke it.
I didn't. Go ahead. Just
Okay.
keep going.
So once you get beyond that
They
point,
laughing at us.
they laughing at you because you broke my fan.
I didn't mean it. Go
We
ahead.
should do an episode about
We both have ADD. Can y'all tell? Because we're like, what happened? Concentrate.
Okay. So, but it's really good though because you can't help who you fall in love with, but you can help who you date. And
Lynette, can you answer the question?
I keep starting over because you keep interrupting me.
Okay. Hang with
And
me.
I think that is the crux of our message and why we want to do this topic, because there may be some of you all are married, some of you all are dating, and you may consider yourself to be seriously dating. But are you seriously dating because of the time and longevity that you've been with this person? Or is it a person that you could see you raising children with, either having a blended family with, this person that you would want to be with you for the rest of your life?
Can I cut in?
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you what's a potential mate. Things that if you don't see this in a person, you're going to have problems and they're not considered potential mate. Number one, are you a believer? Period. We're Christians. We believe in Jesus Christ, that he died, that he got up early Sunday morning. And I'm sorry, but if I meet somebody and that person is a Muslim or that person is a non-believer, no, you're not a potential mate, because people think, well, okay, we can worship in different places. I knew a person, the girl was a Christian, the woman was a Christian, the man was a Muslim, and they felt it was about worship. But it's not about worship, because your religion or what you believe shapes what you think about yourself, about what a man should be, about what a woman should be, about politics, and many times how you should raise a child. So if a person is not a believer, they are not a potential mate. That's one for me. I got another.
Okay, go.
Another thing that should let you know that
they like that, dear.
Y'all like that?
You got hearts.
I got hearts.
Go ahead.
I like the hearts.
Before you get off track.
Oh yeah. All right. So the next one is, I think a man's expectations need to be the same. What are you expecting?
Ooh, that's good.
Okay. What's the end goal of us dating? Are we dating just to are we dating or are we courting? See.
Now you done dropped something right there.
See, you can date somebody that is not a potential mate.
Absolutely.
But when I courted you.
You did, baby.
I was at the window throwing up pebbles. No, because it was like, this woman could be my wife. She comes from great family. I love, you didn't have any children. You right here?
Yeah.
She's a little emotional. You all right?
Watch my eyebrows.
Watch out. Don't touch my eyebrows. No, but real talk, so expectations need to be stated. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that you're going to know that you're going to marry somebody on the first date, but you do know what you want on the first date.
Absolutely.
So that needs to be, discussed and expressed. You got one? Because I got another one.
Go ahead, and then I'll do mine.
Okay. All right. The last one I had was, I think the man and the woman need to understand the expectations of the other. What does the woman understand? How you define a man? Because some women will say, well, I'm looking for a man's man, and that man may say, well, I'm the type of man, when we go out, we split in the tab.
Yes.
I wasn't raised like that.
Right.
I was raised when you're out with a woman, Dad taught me that's your responsibility. And everybody doesn't think like that. So the man has to be clear about what he defines or how he defines himself as a man. And the woman needs to do the same thing, so there aren't any issues. So what you got?
So I think yours were great, first of all. I think that's fantastic, and I agree with all of them. Let's see. We got thumbs up. We got hearts. Hey, Eva. So for me, I think that when you're dating a potential mate, you always have to remind yourself of where you are in your life. Where you are in your life and where that other person is. So for instance, you can have the discussion about age. Is age really a determining factor of...
Age ain't nothing but a number. Come on.
Going down ain't nothing but a thing.
As long as I have no loo, it'll never change.
Never change. Okay. So...
I don't mean to be bold. Okay.
Tiffany says she loves advice. So I think you have to know where the other person is in their life. So in addition to all of the attributes that Joseph talked about, I think, if I am in a place where I'm all about my education, I'm going to go back to school and I'm trying to get out of debt, or I'm trying to make moves as an entrepreneur or whatever, and then the other person is in a party mode, even though you may like them, even though they may be a person that you could see yourself with potentially. So like we talked about last week, it's about timing. Timing
is essential.
It's essential.
Man, look at all them likes.
I know. I be talking, dear.
Look at you. Floss.
So I think it's about timing too, and I think you have to know the expectation of the other person, but I think also you have to be in a position where you're ready. So the potential mate that you're looking for, you have to be the potential mate that somebody else is looking for.
Yeah, listen, real talk, I'm not saying that's powerful. Good stuff.
Think so?
Absolutely. Like timing is that's very, very key, because it kind of goes back to like what we were talking about last week. You know, if you may be the right person, but it may be the wrong timing.
Yeah. I mean, literally, like you
can
could
meet
mess
somebody at the wrong time. You meet somebody, be like, just hold on about 6 months.
Yeah, because think about it. When we first met, I have been what?
What? Go ahead.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Go ahead and say it. Where my knife at?
No, but when I wanted to meet him, it took me almost a year.
Well,
because when I thought I was ready, I really wasn't. And when I knew, the reason that I knew,
she was out with them little boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But how I knew that I wasn't ready was when I met him, knowing where I was the year before. So I think when you are dating a potential mate, you have to be the mate that you're looking for in that other person, because you could really jack up a really good person and a really good relationship if you're not ready. And you have to be in a position where you're honest with yourself, and you have to do some self-development, because everybody wants to be, not, I shouldn't say everybody, but mostly everyone would like to be in a relationship. Who wouldn't want someone to celebrate with? Who wouldn't want someone to, when they have something good happen to them, pick up the phone and have that person super happy for them? Who wouldn't want to necessarily come home and have someone that can cook dinner with them and make memories? Of course. Like, that's why God put us here, to be together and to make life together, right? So if you are in a position that you want that, you got to get yourself right.
That's right. Good talk.
Yeah. So what y'all think? Sandra says, that's my pastor and floss. Aw, hey. So, I mean, if you guys have comments, we're going to go ahead and move on, because we have like 8 more minutes, but
we can't rush the people.
We're not going to rush the people.
God almighty.
We're not going to rush you guys.
Questions from last week?
Oh, yeah. So one of the other things too, when you're dating a potential mate, aside from like being real with yourself, like you have to be able to have those crucial conversations with your potential mate. And don't be afraid to tell them what you want. Like, if you're in a relationship and you've been dating for, let's just say, a year, and y'all ain't talked about where your relationship is going, or what's the end gonna be, or...
Can I please tell a story? Story time?
Story time. While I look up the question.
Because this is no, you need to like pay attention.
I was gonna look up the question from last week.
Because it's a good one.
Okay, I'll listen.
She's right. Because about 2 years before we got married, there was a job offer that came up in Los Angeles. So Lynette calls me and she's like, well, I think I may be thinking about taking on this job. So I'm trying to be cool. I'm like, okay, whatever you want to do, I support it. So in my mind, I'm like, she ain't going to LA. So the next time I saw her, she was like, well, I think I'm going to take on this job. And y'all, I looked in her eyes, and it wasn't a bluff. It was like, this is what I'm going to do. If you're not doing something that's going to keep me here, and she never said it. It was never like a put a ring on it or it was nothing like that. It was like, well, if there's nothing substantial that's going to keep me here, then I'm going. Y'all, when I saw that in her eyes, that's when it did something on the inside of me, and I was like, it made me like hit myself to say, okay, it's time for me to get this thing together. Because I was going to be like, please, 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 please. So.
And I think, he did.
That's real talk, y'all.
Yeah.
So and it goes both ways, but you got to tell them.
Yeah, and I think.
Lay the law.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting.
And for me and how I grew up and just my personal philosophy, I don't think ultimatums work. I don't think me marching in to be like, marry me or else.
You never did that.
Because hypothetically, if I marched in there and he married me, I would always wonder.
Why?
Why?
Because you said that.
I'm like, did he do it because I asked him to? Was he ready for it? Are we going to make it?
Yeah.
Because, and then you can start resenting somebody because, again, it's about timing.
Yeah.
It's all about timing. So when this job offer came up, I said, well, I have a decision to make. Am I going to go and And I went. They flew me out there. I went out there, and God said, "You're not supposed to have this job." I thought I did a great interview, but I didn't get the job. And of course, had I gotten it, we would have had to have a conversation, or
No, we weren't gonna have a conversation because I wasn't gonna let it happen, and I didn't.
You didn't.
And that was like one of the earliest things that happened that really pushed me into gear, and kind of like got me to kind of say to myself, "Okay, you got a great blessing in this woman. Don't screw it up." Because, a lot of times, just because something is for you doesn't mean you have it. A lot of times God will give you things and you don't do what you're supposed to do to acquire it or to hold it or to cherish it or to keep it. And I wasn't going to mess that up. So the point that I'm making is in doing what she said and laying it down and being transparent. You got to do that because clarity is key.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, last thing. Sorry. And if you are afraid to have that conversation with your spouse, that's not somebody you should be with. Because if I feel like, oh, I wonder what he's gonna say, or oh, I don't want him to get mad, or what if they don't respond the way I want to?
You need to be clear.
Yeah, you got to be clear. You got to be. All right, I got to go.
So what are we doing now?
So I'm going to my email to read a question that we got last week.
Well, let's read it. Let's see what y'all saying.
Hey, dear, make sure. Hey, can you get
Gerard's over here telling time.
What is Gerard doing?
Yelling timing.
Timing.
What's the question?
All right, I'm doing it. All right, I am recently. Oh no, I read that one last week. Hold on.
Yeah, give me a fresh one.
Sorry, dear. Sorry. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, how about this? How about I just read one from our...
Yeah, go ahead.
From our thing. How to maintain marital freshness. Maybe?
We can't answer that.
Oh, yeah,
because we've been married
fresh.
5 months and 2 days.
Oh, I like this one. How to build strong relationships with each other. How do we do that?
How to build strong relationships with each other. The best advice that I ever got as it relates to how you keep a marriage together was given to me, once again, by my dad. My dad said, son, you pray with your spouse every day. There is something so powerful and strong. I prayed a lot before we were engaged and married. But when a man and a wife pray together, there's something about that creates this invisible force field of power, of favor, of grace, of peace. It's like if there was any things that were going on the inside of you, or you were upset or you were mad at what he did or what she, when you grab that, your mate's hands and you pray each day, I'm telling you, the power of that union, man and woman, communing and connecting with God calms everything. And if I had to say that there's something that you can do today to strengthen your marriage, to strengthen your engagement, to strengthen your relationship, even if that's your girl or that's your guy, and y'all are courting each other, you go, you intercede with one another, and you beseech the throne of grace, and you talk to God. You don't have to say anything in a certain way. You just speak what's on your heart, you just do. So that was the greatest bit of advice ever. And I think that answers this question. How can you
build strong relationships with each other?
It starts with prayer, communication, and always date each other. Date within the context of being married, because that's different than how we were talking about dating, courting.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
What you think, dear?
Well, I mean,
you agree with that?
I agree with that. I can't follow up with anything better than that. I mean, what else could there be aside from going on behalf of your spouse and beseeching God to bless them and bless your union?
It's powerful.
It's powerful. And if you are single asking God to bless you and to give you the peace and the foresight to be able to grow individually, so that when you do meet that mate that God has for you, that you are ready and that they're ready.
Any of y'all, and I'm, when you have like interferences in your life, and when I say interferences, like of other people, like people who may be trying to get with you, or exes that maybe you think about from time to time, or any type of interference, whether you acted on it or whether you didn't. When you pray, and the closer you become with your spouse and your mate, the more that interference will lessen. Your interest, your being distracted, even caring. Like, who cares when your ex,
like, walk in, you're like,
such and such got married, or this person is dating, who gives a doggone? I don't care.
I could care less.
But that has everything to do, you start giving an ear to stuff when you and your spouse, or you and your mate, you and your fiance aren't like this. When this is where it needs to be, and that starts with prayer, and then I think that's quickly followed by communication. So,
totally.
So we're going to hush.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Charlene. Hey, Charlene. Unspoken expectations are the breeding grounds of resentment.
Charlene.
That's so true. That's so true. We need an hour show.
Unspoken Charlene, you done said that thing when you said that thing.
Now, sit back, dear.
I just had to give Charlene.
I know, Charlene.
That's so true.
That is so true, because you cannot hold someone to an expectation that you have not set for them. And when you start resenting people, it's because either you have allowed them to hit a nerve, or you have allowed them to get to a place that you haven't told them that this is do not enter. This is a line that you do not cross. This is something that is a non-negotiable. But because they don't know that, then they just keep nagging at you and keep picking at you. So yeah, and that can breed and get to a point where there's a point of no return. But I think another point to strong relationships, I know it's going to sound corny, but it's communication. Like, we talk all the time, and we talked before we even got married. I would say, hey, let's talk.
But you know what? It goes back to like dating. If the problem is not when you have two people like us, because she's the type of person, she's going to speak her mind and tell you how she feels. Lynette's the type of person, she can't let stuff fester. I'm the type of person, I can't let stuff fester. So the way we are in terms of personalities, it helps in that relation. But sometimes you meet people who don't naturally communicate like that, and they'll keep stuff to themselves. And then those are the individuals, they won't say anything. Then 2 months later,
yeah, they like your clothes ripped up.
Yeah, got Clorox. You be like, what happened? I thought everything was cool.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of yourself and who you're with, so you can be certain that that doesn't create the issue.
Yeah.
So dear.
Okay.
I don't want to go past their time.
Okay, yeah, because we have to be respectful of you guys' time.
So we got to talk about
we got to talk about, yes. So last week, thank you guys for your response to the date challenge. We loved seeing your date pictures. We got a couple in private messages. He is going to break my fan. I need it. Anyway, we got some via private message. Thank you, dear. We got some via private message, so thank you guys for that. But we have another challenge this week. Dude, you're pushing my hair back. Okay, so you want to tell them the challenge for this week?
Okay. The challenge this week is called the throwback. Touch your neighbor and tell them throwback. Because the challenge is you have to get an older picture of you and your husband, wife, significant other, maybe 2 years ago, however old you got it, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you got to post it. And they got a hashtag, right?
Yeah, hashtag
Mr. and Mrs. JLW.
Mr. and Mrs. JLW, and then hashtag throwback challenge.
That it, dear?
That's it, dear.
Y'all like it?
Yay, give us some hearts or likes. Please. Pretty please.
Look. They gonna fall.
No,
They gonna what?
we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Y'all are great.
Yes, we love you.
Thank you for spending time with us on your Sunday. Love you. And we're going to think of some more stuff.
Yeah, so we need some content for episode 3. So message us, Mr. and Mrs. J. I don't know why I'm yelling.
Yeah, why are you yelling? And what happened was that you got to call us on the main line. Tell them what you want.
I don't know why I just started yelling.
Yes. Oh,
Because it's hot. Okay.
Mr.
So Mr. and
Hello.
Huckabee. Mr. and Mrs. JLW411 at gmail.com.
Right.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
I gotta finish.
Hit stop.
I gotta hit stop.